Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and you guys know what time it is. It's time for the channel current events. And for those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. But over to the point. Something I've addressed in the last couple of training vlogs. Over the course of, say, the last 5 months, my body weight has drifted up about 12 to 13 pounds. I've gained some muscle, but I've gained a fair amount of fat in doing so. Now, that being said, my lifts have gone up considerably, but fat doesn't move weight. And the beauty of that is that when you bulk a little bit and you need to cut some weight off, and we're not talking about massive amounts, because I was reasonably lean back in October. When I was 218, something in that range, 217, back in early October. And if you guys watch the actual workouts, you'll see what I mean. Just look at the thumbnails. Those thumbnails are not edited in any way. They're straight screenshots from the videos, no magic lighting. So that's where I was at then, and now I've cracked like 230 in the last week. So my body weight has gone up a little higher than I would want, and my body fat has gone up. I've gained more fat than I've gained muscle. You know, in that 12 to 13 pound weight gain, maybe 2 pounds of it is muscle. But people need to remember when an advanced lifter, 2 pounds of muscle growth is going to put big amounts of weight on your lifts, right? Because we saw my squat pretty much go up by at least 30 pounds in that time, right? People say, but your back squat went up 50 pounds over your box squat, right? But my first back squat that I tested shortly after that was only 522. So I put another 30 pounds on that to get to 552. Deadlift went up a lot, right? We made some very serious strength improvements, but I'm now at a point to where my body fat is too high. If I do want to do meets later, I don't want to do a big water cut. I need to grow into my class. I need to grow into the 220. So that realistically means it's time for me to trim a little body fat down. Gone into a deficit as of this week, as of yesterday. In fact, yesterday I only had 3,200 calories. For perspective, I normally eat 4,500. And at 4,500 calories a day, my weight gain has probably been 2 to 3 pounds a month. Okay, we're talking about less than a 500 calorie surplus. If you do the math on that, that is less than a 500 calorie surplus. It's a very small surplus, but it was enough to make the scale drift up over months. And I think it's obvious that I've gained quite a bit of body fat. I mean, my body fat percentage has gone up at least several percentages, right? At least several percentages. And it's at a point now where I do need to trim it back down, right? For health purposes, for competitive purposes as an athlete, and everything else. And the beauty of what I do, because I film all my lifting sessions wearing running shorts, right? I just wear normal men's running shorts. People are like, what are those shorts? They're normal men's running shorts I buy off Amazon. I have 4 pairs of them. They're all the same brand, nothing special. They're not anything weird. They're just men's running shorts. They're all in black. That we can see the changes over time. So we can kind of assess how my body fat's changed and what's going on, how much muscle I've gained. And I've gained, again, a pretty decent amount of muscle overall during that time also. So it is time to trim down a little bit. Now, the beauty of it is I'm not going to cut super fast. I think that if I do this correctly, I have my training really dialed in. My training is really dialed in. I feel like I can continue to make some strength gains, make some progress while trimming down the scale weight. Now, what's my time frame? I don't have one, because the people forget. They get caught up in this whole bodybuilder mindset of a person has a certain date. No. I'm just going to slowly trim down and see if I can get down to about 215, right? I need to, over the course of time, lose about 15 pounds at a rate that I can sustain performance and maybe hit some PRs at, okay? We saw me do before, what was my other time frame with DEXA scans? I did a 15-pound cut while losing no lean tissue in 3 months before, okay? That required me to dial everything in. But 15 pounds in 3 months with no lean tissue loss, that's difficult to do. Anyone who's done DEXA scans realizes that's not as common as you would think. Most people are like, wait, everyone can lose 15 pounds while keeping all their muscle. Go DEXA scan and you'd be surprised. That's not going to be as easy as you think it is. You could lose the 15 pounds in that time, but 2 pounds of it might be muscle tissue. lean tissue off the thing. So I realistically need to replicate something like that. However, I'm also bigger and stronger than I was at that time. And I probably am leaner than I was during that 15-pound cut. Because I was something like, 23, 22% body fat on the DEXA scan before that. So I probably need to extend it out a little longer. It might take me more than 3 months to get down to the 215 while keeping muscle and trying to set PRs and possibly make gains. It might take me longer. So I'm not going to set a time frame. What I will say, though, is that it doesn't feel like a diet, and here's why. You guys know I drink like at least a gallon of whole milk every day, right? I tend to eat a lot of meat. And then I throw in potatoes and vegetables and stuff like that. What I found already, I basically looked at all my stuff and said, I'm going to get the same fluid volume if I reduce the fat in the milk. And I'm not saying that's the way to go for muscle growth, because it's not. I want to make that very, very clear. Whole milk is about the most anabolic food you can possibly find. But if I want to reduce calories to create a deficit, I can trim 800 calories of fat out of my diet out of a single gallon of milk. I'm keeping all of my carbs, all my protein, more importantly, all of the electrolytes. All right, that's critical, and that's my fluid. I don't sit around drinking water outside of that, because if you drink at least a gallon of milk a day, that's mostly water. I drink coffee on top of that, a bunch of coffee first thing in the morning. You're exceeding a gallon of fluid a day, and it's very, very, very full of electrolytes. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, all of that's there in very large quantities. I can keep that in. I noticed, having drank a gallon of it yesterday of the 1%, again, 800 calories less, exact same level of fullness. Okay, the exact same level of satiety for 800 less calories. Same thing. I taking all my fattier meats out and just replacing them with chicken breasts. It's just food substitution. You know what? I found yesterday, hitting 3,200 calories instead of 4,500, I was full. Like, that felt like a lot. Felt like a lot, especially when you go from that gallon of milk being 2,400 down to 1,600 with the same amount of liquid. You're eating a bunch of chicken breasts, because I ended up, because of that, I probably ate more protein, because I ended up eating more chicken breasts, but then it ended up being really filling. I literally ate nothing but chicken breast, potato wedges, all oven baked, baked potato, and 1% milk, which is actually a pretty complete nutrition profile if you go plug it all in. And ended up hitting 1,300 calories less than I normally do. And no, the scale didn't go down on the first day. So it'll be pretty easy to do this, though. And I mean, I'll throw in things like fat-free Greek yogurt and other stuff just to make sure that I maintain gut health. Vegetables from time to time. I have tons of frozen vegetables and stuff, maybe some extra fruit and things here and there. But for the most part, my protein is going to be really, really high. I'm going to keep with my 1% milk. Try to hit at least a pound of chicken breast every single day on top of that, if not more. And just kind of fill in the rest with potatoes, fruit, vegetables, stuff like that. Pretty straightforward, and I don't see this being an issue. It should be just a nice gradual loss of scale weight. If I struggle to maintain performance, I can always, again, adjust everything a little bit. But again, I don't predict it being an issue. I think it's going to be fine. I think at 215 or so, which will be the benchmark, I think I will be just as strong, if not stronger, than I have been on my best lift so far this year. That's what I'm predicting, if I keep the training dialed in perfectly, and that's the plan. And I've done this with clients. By the way, I have clients who run the conjugate system who we've done shortcuts and something like 10-week cuts and things, and they've still hit PRs, right? We've still PR'd some of their lifts while on a very small deficit and losing body fat. So it's totally doable. I've seen it in my own clients. I've coached people through it. And I have a good idea of my own body, how my body responds to this training, and again, having it pretty well dialed in. I think it's going to work quite well. It'll be better. I'll be better off for it. I'll be healthier, fitter, more competitive in a weight class, and probably end up looking a bit better. Because again, go back and look at the comparisons. I've gained muscle and strength since early October, and I looked quite a bit better then too. And people commented on that back then. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.